Usually I write my songs about experiences that then lead to feelings. In a way, this one was the most challenging though, because I wanted to write a song about a feeling. I just wanted to write a song about nostalgia. So the feeling came first for that song, and then loads of different experiences where I felt nostalgia, I drew in. But for me, nostalgia is a feeling that I feel quite a lot, and when I do feel it, it's very, very heavy. The way I feel nostalgia usually it's not very pleasant actually. It's like an aching feeling. I ache over the fact that time is passing so quickly, and sometimes I even feel nostalgic in a moment I'm living. Obviously the opening line is, "We're never going to be this young again." So that's also just the thing of like, you know, I think time is my biggest fear, because it's just like the one thing that you can't really control. The more time that passes, the quicker time seems to go as well. So I think like "We're never gonna be this young again" was a great way to open. So it's called "Am I a Dreamer?" and I think like none of the songs on the recent project I found too challenging to write. In a way, this one was the most challenging though, because I wanted to write a song about a feeling rather than an experience. So usually I write my songs about experiences that then lead to feelings. But for me, nostalgia is a feeling that I feel quite a lot, and when I do feel it, it's very, very heavy. And I just wanted to write a song about nostalgia. So the feeling came first for that song, and then loads of different experiences where I felt nostalgia, I drew in. So I kind of wrote it from a different angle this time.
Different writing process as well, I guess. Then,
yeah, in a way. I just knew I had to write about nostalgia though, because I really feel it so deeply. I'm a very emotionally driven person. So I wanted to write a song that was emotionally driven as well. I think they all are in a way, but this one's slightly different. I'd say it's definitely one of my more emotional tracks.
So you say you feel nostalgia very deeply. So talk us through that emotion, you know.
It can be like a song I hear, or a scent that I smell, or a conversation I have. Usually music and perfume or something trigger it the most, but it just like instantly takes me back to a certain time. And the way I feel nostalgia usually it's not very pleasant actually. It's like an aching feeling. It's just like I ache over the fact that time is passing so quickly. And sometimes I even feel nostalgic in a moment I'm living, like in the present moment, knowing that I'm gonna feel really nostalgic about it in the future. So that's kind of how the song came about as well. I was just sat like looking out into the sea in Greece, and I knew that I would always feel nostalgic about that holiday, like even on the first day of the holiday. And I was just sat looking out thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to take everything in. And it makes me feel a bit sick actually, the nostalgia feeling. I'm not too sure why. I'm sure there's people that might be able to relate to that, the deep feelers maybe.
It's interesting actually, because I was talking about nostalgia and music with someone the other day, and yeah, I don't know if I particularly have a positive feeling to saying nostalgic. I'm kind of sad that there once was joy attached to a thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like it took me back to like Reading Festival 2007 or 8 or something, and I was like, I was sad that it's gone and I'm not going to live those years again.
Yeah, I think though like nostalgia in music is kind of making a comeback as well. I think people are really feeling quite nostalgic at the moment, and so many artists that I love and listen to are also very nostalgic artists, because either their style is very sort of retro, or their music has elements of kind of retroness as well, which I really love. It's kind of like created this space for artists like me and other artists who want to do that too. So it's quite like Ray, for example, like she literally like made me realise that I could make the music I wanted to make, because before her there wasn't really too many people sort of doing it. Steven Sanchez as well, you know, Lana of course, they're all doing this old school thing, and people really relate to it, because I think there's something much more simple and honest about that time as well.
We're never gonna be this young again. Drink up, watch the sun settle in. Sat on these walls, we're hand in hand, and I'm singing to the sand.
it's funny, isn't it? Because it's like, even if you look at the business model of music, there's been this like massive necessity from everyone to buy everyone's back catalogues. So even I think at the top level, people are understanding that actually the past is going to be the future of the music industry in a really weird way.
Yeah, well, it all goes round in cycles, doesn't it?
And you said that this song was sort of like made up of many artifacts of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Maybe you could talk about a few of them.
Yeah, I think the water really triggered a lot of memories for me. I was thinking about The Notebook as well while I was writing it, which is one of my favourite romance films. I'm sure a lot of girls can agree with me on that.
I think a lot of guys as well.
And a lot of guys. I can't watch it now because it makes me cry. I draw a lot of inspiration from films as well and things like that. So when I'm thinking nostalgia or feeling nostalgia, I'm thinking as well like all these films that I've watched.
Have you seen Past Lives?
I've not.
Watch Past Lives.
What is it?
It is a film about two childhood friends in South Korea who kind of go their separate ways. I think one of them moves to America and gets married, has a whole life, and then they meet years later. And it's, I can't remember what the word is, but it's all based around this like South Korean concept of like what will be, what will happen sort of thing. And then they meet in America.
Stop.
And even, it's Greta Lee plays the main character, and even her husband is like, I can see that this is meant to be, and I wouldn't really want. It's.
Oh my god!
I was on a plane watching it, and I was like,
just bawling your eyes
yeah.
out.
Someone came with us. Would you get a drink? I was like,
yeah.
it's like, yeah. I'm a pretty unemotional person. I was like, fucking hell, you know. You should watch that.
I love a film that does that to me.
I think it's the most beautiful film I've seen in the last 15 years.
I'll have to watch it. What's called Past Lives.
Past Lives, yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you know that scene in The Notebook where Noah's trying to get Ali in when she's on the swing, and then I think at this point as well, I was romanticising the idea of being with someone. I think I'd been single for quite a while, and I like that, but my imagination is very vivid, and I just like the idea of things. So I think that was quite heavy on my mind, and I was just looking at the water. And yeah, I mean, it was just about that really, and just about living in a moment and knowing you're going to feel nostalgic about it. Obviously the opening line is, "We're never going to be this young again." So that's also just the thing of like, you know, I think time is my biggest fear, because it's just like the one thing that you can't really control, and it just keeps going, and the more time that passes, the quicker time seems to go as well. So I think like "We're never going to be this young again" was a great way to open the line. And I was also in the song kind of referring to darker times, which you wouldn't think I'd feel nostalgic about, but weirdly do in a way, just being 17 and in a bit of a mess. But also it's just the fact that you're never going to be 17 again in a mess, and I'm glad I'm not there now. But part of me does still feel like quite nostalgic about little Ava making mistakes and learning from them. So yeah.
So you had all these artifacts of nostalgia. So take us through your songwriting process. I'd really love to know that once you've got to that point, how it develops from there.
Every song is different, and like sometimes it's the title comes first, sometimes it's the lyrics, sometimes it's the melody. In this instance, I wrote it with an amazing producer called Eddie George, and we work really well together because we don't really overthink it. We kind of just make the song. I can't really explain it any other way. I'm pretty sure I came into the studio, I just said, I want to write about nostalgia, and it just kind of came together. I remember him playing those sort of that guitar part that I just played in here, which is my favourite guitar part to play ever. I love it so much. He just started playing it as I mentioned nostalgia, and I just said, that is it, like, we're going to go with that. That is perfect. Like, that really moves me. That makes me feel nostalgic. It takes me straight back to being there, sat on that wall, looking out at the ocean. And then from there, like, so I think sometimes I just like type out a bunch of random lyrics or thoughts or experiences or feelings that come to me in that moment. And then it's just kind of piecing them together. But from what I can remember, like, sometimes I just explain it in a way where the song kind of like writes itself. And I think it was one of those moments in the studio that day with Eddie, kind of just all came together. Sometimes I feel like the music doesn't actually even come from me, like I feel like a bit of a vessel, just kind of channeling it from somewhere else. I'm not sure where, but that is just how I feel sometimes.
Where does the time go? Like the end of a show that pulls me to my feet. Time will defeat us, and this loneliness consuming me.
What do you look for when you're looking for a producer? Because it's such a integral role. First, it's someone that you have to trust with vulnerability, but you're also trusting them with the output, your sound, right? Like they become a vessel at that point as well. They're the translator to the outside world of what you're putting out there. So, yeah, how do you collaborate with producers?
I mean, my problem is that every producer I work with, I love for so many different reasons, because every single person draws out a different side of my artistry. Like I write a song with Eddie that only Eddie could bring out of me, and you know, I write a song with Jez, only he could help me write that song. So I think I've actually struggled to sort of narrow it down. I've been doing like sessions for around 2 years now, maybe a bit longer, and I'm really starting to figure out who I write really well with. In terms of producers, I just love what everyone does. So I feel like, I mean, that's still a journey that I'm on, and I'm still doing new sessions with new people, and that's really exciting. And there's like certain people that I just have a good feeling about. There's some people that I just work really well with and get on really well with. But in terms of writers, there's like a handful of people that every time I go in with them, I know that I'm going to write a really good song. And usually it's because they know how to get the right questions to ask, and they know like how to get it out of me. So I find that the best writers are really good at doing that. One of my favourite songs that I've ever written that's not out yet was a first session with an amazing writer called Jez Ashurst, and he's so good. Every time I work with him, I write a great song. And it was because he was just asking me about my story and my life in the first session. And to me, it's just my life, so it's not really that interesting. And he just goes, your story is really unique. We should just write a song about your story from the start to now. And it was so honest, and it's probably one of my favourite songs I've ever written. And it's, a good writer just knows how to draw out the right things in you know? So, I'm struggling to narrow it down in terms of producers, because I'm still having fun experimenting with new sounds and stuff, which is really fun. And I think I just want to meet as many people and have as many collaborators as possible as of now, and then I can always narrow it down when I need to, depending on what the project is or what I'm going for.
I might be reaching too much with this question, but the audience are about to hear the session you did for us. A nylon-string guitar as well. Whenever I hear a nylon-string guitar, it actually does take me back to that Lana Del Rey used them a lot in her instrumentation, that Leonard Cohen-y kind of Joni Mitchell kind of gilded sound. It's is that an intentional choice?
Do you know what? It's so funny, because that's actually not my guitar. That's my boyfriend's guitar. And he's just left it at my flat for ages. He needs to take it because I've got way too many guitars in that flat and it's so small. But I was actually not planning on bringing it. So this morning I was practicing the song a little bit on my other acoustic, which is just an electric acoustic. And then I was I just feel drawn to the nylon right now. And I picked up the nylon guitar, and it just sounded way better. Just the feeling of it, what I was singing about, the song. And I was I'm just going to bring this one, because it just it was just calling out to me. I needed to bring that one. So it's funny you ask, actually, because I was almost not going to bring it today.
One of the things that always comes up in these interviews often is creative blocks. And one of my favorite things about speaking to artists is that everyone kind of has their own process about how they overcome adversity in that sense, whether it be with themselves or tackling a difficult subject. Given the nature of the show, it does come up quite a lot. So how do you stay inspired when it's just not coming?
I think like the thing is just to not force it. Like creativity comes in waves, and I think actually when you're going through a bit of a low moment creatively, it's actually a great opportunity to just live and like, you know, experience the world from the perspective of a poet. And you don't have to make art. You know, being a poet is 95% not making poems. It's just taking in the world from the eyes of like an artist. And I think I used to really beat myself up when I was in those kind of low moments of creativity. I mean, there was a point where I couldn't create for 2 years. I couldn't write. I lost my singing voice. I had to do speech therapy to get my voice back. I was just going through quite a dark time in my life, and it felt like I just lost everything. I thought I lost my talent, my voice, myself, my friends, my family. But like I had like a little bit of hope that kept saying like, this is all meant to be happening for your music, and you're going to come out of it, and you're going to have so much to write about when you come out of it. And I really did. And, you know, I haven't had a creative block in quite a while, but I'm sure it will come up at some point soon. And when I do, I'm just going to use that opportunity to live, because so much of writing songs is not the actual writing the song part. It's just like, you know, being you and living your life the way you want to live it, and then you can always turn it into art afterwards. So, I mean, it's easy to beat yourself up over it, of course, but I think it's actually like necessary sometimes to have a bit of a block.
I think that's a really beautiful thing as well, because it's like, is it a creative's job just to express? Actually, it's to experience and then to express. And I think a lot of people they rush themselves through the experiencing moment and run straight to the expression moment, when actually it is half of your job just to take in what's around you and translate it.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think I've struggled a little bit with having so many sessions. Like I went to LA a couple of weeks ago and had 5 sessions a week. And by the end, I felt a little bit, I don't know, I kept apologising in sessions and stuff because I just felt like I couldn't give much more of myself. And I found that was slightly counterproductive, but also at the same time, it's necessary to like, especially when you're going on a writing trip, to really push yourself to your limit. But I think in an ideal world, I wouldn't do that many sessions. I think ideally I'd love to do 1 or 2 a week and then just write poetry in my spare time, because like, you can't just keep giving and giving and giving, because it's just, you're not going to make the best art that way, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree with you. So I finished all these interviews with the same question, and probably one of my favourite things about getting to sit down with so many musicians and artists is to be able to hear these nuances about the music you're recording before the cameras start rolling, you know, and the little bits in between making the show. We always talk about these moments of like, these stories which the audience doesn't always, or fans don't always have a window into. So our audience are about to hear the track you just played for us in the studio. Is there any nuance, anything you want them to slightly pick up on that's going to change the way they experience it?
That's a really good question. The beauty of music is that it can be interpreted in so many different ways. So I think maybe it would be interesting for the listeners to hear it from like a happy perspective, and then re-listen from like another sort of melancholic perspective, because I feel like both exist in the song. Like I ask a lot of people, what does the song sound like to you? And some people say hope, and some people say like, oh my God, it like breaks my heart. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but like I think it would be interesting to like listen to it from different perspectives to see like where it sits for people, where it sits for the listeners.
Ava, thanks for joining us on How to Spot.
Thank you for having me.
We're never gonna be this young again. Drink up, watch the sun settle in. these walls, we're hand in hand, and I'm singing to the sand. I can't get enough in this abyss of love. Couldn't stand more still, lost in the moment of it all. It slips away and then it goes so fast. The shade of blue fades to black. Looking now, knowing that it never lasts. Will we ever come back? That's when I call ya. Get in the water, sink into my soul. Oh, 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 I adore ya. So let me hold ya before we grow too old. What I do to be in front of you, I just wanted to be used. Laying under the full moon next to you. Where does the time go? Like the end of a show that pulls me to my feet. Time will tell